the Karnataka governor's nod really to prosecute Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in the MUDA land allotment case has now triggered a legal and a political war in the state. But there's been some relief for the Chief Minister. The Karnataka High Court has said that no proceedings shall be conducted before the special court against Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in the alleged MUDA scam until his plea against the state governor is heard. This is of course happening in the Karnataka High Court. The next date of hearing scheduled for the 29th of August. Meanwhile, both the Congress and the BJP today took to the streets, and while the BJP of course has been demanding for the resignation of the Chief Minister, the Congress has been saying this is vendetta, destroying the constitution and democratic values. The Congress party protested in various districts across the state, Tumkuru, Mangaluru, Mandya, Bidar and various other places. They've demanded that the governor should be recalled. They're saying that this is a politically motivated move. The BJP, meanwhile, led by leader of the opposition R. Ashoka, marched into the Vidhan Sabha. They've protested outside the Gandhi statue. They've been consistently demanding Siddaramaiah's resignation. We spoke to several of them today. Let's listen into both the sides and what they had to say.
ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೇ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತಿನವರಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ರಾಜಭವನವನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಿಜೆಪಿಯವರು ಜೆಡಿಎಸ್ನವರು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರು ಷಡ್ಯಂತ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನನಗೆ ಮಸಿ ಬಳಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ದುರುದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ದುರುದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎದುರಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಫೈಟು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಫೈಟು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ
The entire party and the government will stand by my Chief Minister. He has not done anything wrong. It is a political motivated issue which has been done. So we are going to agitate. We are going to the law. We are going to the courts. We will take all legal remedies. At the same time, the entire state, our party cadres will start functioning. We will oppose the stand of the governor and we will stand by my Chief Minister.
BJP as well as JDS, we have been demanding answers from Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. We demanded on the floor of the House, but Siddaramaiah chose to run away from the assembly session. When people of Karnataka, they are asking, demanding answers from Chief Minister, he is not willing to answer. When respected governor, based on the private complaint, based on the representation given by the private complainant, governor has sought explanation from Chief Minister. He did not bother to answer he did not bother to give clarification. When governor has acted as per the rule, as per the prevailing rules, Chief Minister himself giving call to the agitation, totally unconstitutional.
Let me quickly open this up to our panel of guests. Vijay, Prasad from the Karnataka BJP joins us. Dhruv Jatti, Congress spokesperson, also with us. TJ Ibrahim, RTI activist. BS Arun, senior journalist, all of them joining us today. I'll come across first to Dhruv here. Dhruv, we've of course seen what's happened in court. Let's not go into the legal aspects of it because the matter of course right now is being heard and the 29th is when the matter comes up once again. Meanwhile, as far as the charges coming in from the Congress continue to be that this is misuse of the governor's post, the BJP says, well, this is a clear-cut case where the Chief Minister, of course, cannot be in his position while an investigation is being held against him. And they are demanding his resignation. As far as the Congress is concerned, they have maintained that the BJP is only using this for their own political gain. But how does this deadlock end at this point in time?
Go too much into the legal proceedings, but just a reflection on what happened today at court. It's quite clear that Article 163 of the Constitution was not followed. The Council of Ministers were not taken into account. And second, even if you look at governor's sanctions, there are a bunch of articles that have put this, but the actual offense in what the governor is trying to convey hasn't reached the courts yet, and that was even seen in the merit of the argument by the Governor's Council. So even today, the High Court itself stated that the proceedings can be conducted and that any precipitation can't take place, which means the police and the Lokayukta can't pursue until the 29th of this month, until the next hearing. And this itself is a clear-cut understanding to the people, and I'm sure the public will be able to gauge whether this is political vendetta or whether this case has any merit in itself. Looking at how today has panned out, it's quite interesting and it's quite quite sad to see that Delhi and especially the BJP is using the governor's position, misusing the Raj Bhavan against state opposition ruled parties. And the court, I'm sure, is going to make sure justice prevails. And we will have to wait and watch until 29th.
Okay, Mr. TJ Abrams also with us. He's one of the respondents here to the petition, of course, that was filed by the Chief Minister in the High Court, and in fact, he was the one who had moved, the governor's office seeking for the sanction. Mr. TJ Abrams, today some questions were raised about your intentions as well in moving the governor's office, and various other questions were raised even in court. But now, firstly, what do you make of that? Secondly, if you could also tell our viewers here, what was the intention seeking this prosecution, and what are the charges that you believe are directly, affecting the Chief Minister in this case?
The first one, why did I go to the governor before I get an order or a direction from the court? Why did I go to the governor? If the Congress panelist who is sitting there is ignorant of the prevailing existing law here in Karnataka, that the law is the order passed by Justice Prasad in a case in Karnataka, wherein he has specified that in future, whoever wants to file a PCR, a private complainant, will have to append the copy of the sanction for prosecution obtained from the concerned authority. Right? That's very clear. There's no doubt about it. So I have followed the diktat of Justice Nagasana in his court order. And what has happened is he has also ensured that it is converted into a circular and sent to all the judges in Karnataka. And it is not that the Congress does not know about it. Initially, when I went there, when I met the governor, in fact, Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhi was trying to say, when a blue-eyed boy goes, it's immediately quickly taken and immediately show cause notice is given and all that. No, I'm not the blue-eyed boy of the governor, because I had sought an appointment on 19th and I get an appointment on 26th. A blue-eyed boy does not have to wait for so long. Okay. Now, today we have heard the Justice Nagaprasanna heard our matter. How many of them argued? The major 90% of the time was consumed by the petitioner, Mr. Siddaramaiah's counsel, Mr. Manu Singhi.
Okay.
And
okay. Now let's not get into too many details of this, Mr. Abraham, because of paucity of time here. I want you to keep your arguments really short because I need to go to the other panelists as well.
Okay, the second aspect. You want
keep it brief. I'm allowing you to speak, but just keep it brief.
So, see, now when the judge today started hearing the matter and it got over, the hearing got over at 5 o'clock, he passed an order immediately. And if you go see the order, it is quite a lengthy order that they passed. Now, are they going to say, today the matter was heard, why did he pass an order? If a person can understand what is happening, if it is spelled to him, he will pass an order because he makes a decision there. I have taken 1.5 hours to explain to the governor what my request was. He sought for a clarification on 26th. I went back to the governor in the evening. I gave the clarification. Subsequent to that, he issued a notice. What is wrong? I'm not defending the governor. Where is the fault?
Okay, you're saying there was nothing wrong in it. Another question that the Congress here keeps asking, and I'll take that across to you before I go to the BJP very quickly. They say the Chief Minister was never in any sort of decision-making power, whenever this issue has come up, especially as far as allotment of land to his wife is concerned. So why actually go ahead when an investigation is parallelly happening into the entire scam as such? What is the role of the Chief Minister is a question that comes up.
See, when this particular land, which was at that time a village land, an agriculture land, was notified for MUDA, within 1 year, less than 1 year, it got de-notified in the name of a dead man. That is a very illegal act that has happened. Now, the CM can claim, he has been claiming he has nothing to do with it. I agreed to him. Now, 2004, when the subject matter of this issue starts coming into his arena, his family circle, that is his brother-in-law, when he bought it, what land did he buy? Where was this agricultural land? It was already in possession of the MUDA, and it is Devanoru Padavani. Let the people who are listening to your channel, let them understand there was no agricultural land. then how did that man, whoever sold it, have the right to sell a property, claim this agricultural land when there are sites, roads, parks, everything made, developed? Now,
Okay,
when
Mr.
the
Mr. Abraham,
brother-in-law
you're
does
saying
not
that the
get the-
origin of the land itself is in question. You're saying it's
there's
the
no
origin,
land.
it's not the allocation that happened through MUDA later. You're saying that the original land itself is questionable.
Not questionable. Where is the land?
Okay.
You're talking about.
Okay,
in
Dhruv,
lieu
Dhruv,
of the land.
would you like to quickly respond to that? Okay, let's
Deepak, the
have a
case is-
response from the Congress
the case-
party here.
Deepak, the case is sub judice. I don't think it makes much sense speaking about the proceedings of what's happening in court. And I think Mr. TJ Abraham has to keep that in mind as well, since he's quite closely affiliated with the case. And every party over here is following the law into place. I don't see why such accusations are being made on television. Let me remind you that the case and today's hearing is a clear signaling as to what merit the case holds. And more than anything, that's what needs to be focused. And it clearly states that until the 29th, any precipitation from either the Lokayukta or the police cannot take place. And this, of course, comes into picture clearly because the offenses from the governor's sanctions do not hold much credibility.
Okay.
Which
Okay,
is there
very
in
quickly
the-
here, Mr. Vijay
He
Prasad.
says
One
it's sub
question.
judice. He says it's sub judice.
Okay,
But when he
one second.
speaks
I'll bring in
about
Mr.
it, it's
Vijay
not sub
Prasad,
judice.
Mr. Ibrahim. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you for a response. Let's bring in the BJP as well. Vijay Prasad. One question that every Congress leader and at every press conference or a reaction to the media has asked is why in such a haste has the governor given a sanction? When it comes to H.T. Kumaraswamy, the files are still pending approval from the governor. When it comes to Janardhan Reddy, it's still pending. When it comes to Shashikala Jolle, former minister in the BJP regime, it's still pending. When it comes to Mr. Murugesh Nirani, it's still pending. And here things move so fast. And these are the questions that, is being raised. And, the BJP hasn't given any sort of response to that in defense of the governor or in any situation like this.
Very good evening. See, Congress, before asking another question, counter question to BJP, we have raised the pertinent question on the floor of the House. Till today, the Congress has not bothered to answer or give a straight answer whatever the questions has been raised on the floor of the House. They have run away from the floor of the House, and after that, they have started advertisements and they are giving all sorts of rather than giving straight answers, they are doing all sorts of drama. When we did not get the answer, and when we started Padayatra, they said they will do Janandana.
Okay.
Having said all these things, even today, Congress is doing all sorts of theatrics on the streets. See, this is not the kind of politics what we can. This is the can expect from Congress, and nothing else. On one hand, they will carry Constitution and they will say, "Oh, we are upholding the Constitution," and on the other, they will they're threatening the governor. They're threatening the governor that they're going to storm the governor's office and his residence. Is this kind of Congress that they are saying? Yes, because see, today Congress has failed to answer the people's question. BJP is asking on behalf of the people of Karnataka that what has happened in them. And till today, they have not cared about answering this kind of question from the BJP. So, having said these things,
No, but you need to answer also, Mr. Vijay Prasad. You also need to answer because you defended the governor's move right now, giving sanction as constitutionally valid. He, in his right spirit, has done it and all of that. But when these counter questions are being asked, there's no response that has come in. Why are the other requests, and that too they have come from after an investigation has been complete by the Lokayukta, then a request has gone to the governor. That is, taking a back seat. So these are some valid questions that the Congress is posing. Why isn't the BJP answering to those?
No, Deepak, the governor of the state has used all the legal requirement that is required under the law of the land that has been followed. He has done exactly the same thing. And when the Congress did not question when the Governor H.R. Bharadwaj gave prosecution to prosecute B.S. Yediyurappa, and they started celebrating, and whoever the activist was, they were on the good book. Now,
but you still aren't answering the question pertaining to these four people against whom sanction requests have been made to the governor and nothing has been done. And that raises a question: when a request has gone against Mr. Siddaramaiah, when a notice can be issued in a few hours, even after a few months, and in a couple of cases a few years. Some of them are pending from 2021.
No. Tell me now. See, you are Deepak. You are telling that within few hours, governor has given the prosecution notice. But are you going to with the same logic going to tell that the judge has passed the order by within few hours of hearing the judgment from the opposite lawyer? Are you going to stick up to this logic? No, that is not the case. The governor is eligible.
No, we are not talking law here. I'm not talking about the law here. Neither am I talking about what's happening in court and how the arguments will go on there, Mr. Vijay Prasad. The question was quite simple. This is a charge that the Congress has made. Every minister almost who has spoken has raised this issue. What is the BJP's response? Because I haven't heard any. That's all I asked you, and in the last 3 minutes that I've given you, you haven't given me an answer to that. Let me bring in Mr. B.S. Arun as well into the debate. He's been quietly listening to the political potshots that all of you all have been taking. Mr. B.S. Arun, we've seen multiple cases. You probably have very closely monitored what happened with Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa as well back in the day. How do you really look at the current scenario? Is it worrisome for the Congress party? And how do you really think that they can handle this?
Yes, I feel Congress is certainly worried over what's happening in Karnataka. Look, Mr. Siddaramaiah is the powerful leader and a powerful leader of the minorities, the backwards, and the Dalits. So, and he has kept the party united. He has kept the government united. There are no problems as such, at least as of now. But if the BJP succeeds in its plan and Siddaramaiah is dethroned, and there is a strong possibility of the Congress running a weak government and an opportunity for the BJP to sort of play to start its games. So there is a problem there for the Congress. Congress has to ensure that the government remains united. For that, the continuation of Mr. Siddaramaiah is very crucial. In case the court doesn't give a stay on this current the case, and there's a problem, there will be pressure on Siddaramaiah to quit, and Congress will have to find answers. So there lies the problem for the Congress and for the Chief Minister. In case the governor, the court gives a stay, and then it's victory for Siddaramaiah.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, Mr. Arun. Right now, all eyes will be on the court. If there is no favorable order that comes in from the court, how internally within the Congress there would be issues is a question that remains. But they are right now putting up a united front. From the Deputy Chief Minister to the Cabinet, they all say we are standing with the Chief Minister. And we cannot be shaken by the BJP or their protests or their demands. So let's, of course, see how things unfold. Thanking all our panelists for joining us today. This is a developing story. We'll keep a close track here on Mirana. On the other side, the urban debate coming up. Don't go anywhere.